How many of you love eating rajma chawal on Sunday afternoons? How about filter coffee with some murukku? But nothing beats curd rice and mulga puri, no? And what about march bhat and singju and aloo posto? You must be wondering what's wrong with her today. What is she talking about? Well, the point I'm trying to come at is what you love to eat is deeply connected with where you grew up, your home. And similar logic applies to plants and animals as well. They appeared on Earth millions of years ago. Unlike humans, plants could not move, and animals remained in their specific territories or bioregions. And therefore, they developed adaptations to those specific environmental conditions. That's why you find coconuts and sand crabs on the beaches, and deodar and Himalayan pied hornbill in the Himalayas. That's their place of comfort, their home, their habitat. Microhabitats are distinct small habitats existing within a large habitat. Confused? Continue watching as I explain what are microhabitats and why are they important, specifically in context to growing plants at home. Microhabitat, as the name suggests, refers to a small area or environment that supports distinct plant and animal life. For example, a pond. It supports aquatic life which is distinct from its surroundings. A large tree is also another great example, as it creates shade underneath, it bears flowers and fruits, it is home to birds and insects and squirrels. If you chop off that tree, everything is lost. The size of a microhabitat may run to many kilometers like a huge lake or a forest, or it could just be an inch in size like a hollow bamboo pole, which is a sanctuary for carpenter bees. Not all microhabitats are permanent. Some are temporary also. For example, rain puddles that are formed only when it rains, and water in that puddle is retained for maybe a week or two during monsoons, so it helps breed mosquitoes as well as tadpoles. Now let's understand why are microhabitats important, especially in context of growing plants at home. Microhabitats are biodiversity hotspots. This is my garden pond. Of course, it's home to water plants, but presence of moisture invites insects and snails. These insects invite spiders, and spiders invite tailor birds that feed on them. The snails feed on dead leaves, and when they die, they provide nutrition to the plants. The leaves sink to the bottom, rot, and make soil at the bottom of this pond. This pond is also an ideal place for frogs to breed in the rainy season. So, by inviting biodiversity, you can see that a microhabitat also creates a stronger food web. Microhabitats act as buffer system to extreme weather. I live in Gurgaon and we experienced dangerously hot summers this year. This tree that I consider as a microhabitat prevented my plants from burning under the hot sun. It was also providing shelter to birds and squirrels that visit my garden. Temperature under this tree was 5 degrees lower than the concrete wall next to it. While the land was heating up quickly in summer, water in my pond remained cool and created a cooling effect around it. The moisture around the pond supported these tropical plants by increasing the humidity levels of the air in this location. These plants have been able to thrive only in this location in my entire home. Everywhere else, tropical plants are struggling. Let me show you. This is Monstera, a tropical plant. Rainy season is the only time when it produces a leaf in the entire year because it's when humidity in Gurgaon reaches 80%. Rest of the year, it just stays suspended without any growth with only 3 leaves because in summer the humidity drops to 20% and in winter there is hardly a clear day or sun because we are blessed with smog. Now, if I transplant this Monstera to a location near my pond, there is a high chance that this plant may grow even in very hot days. That's because the pond will behave like a microhabitat and will try to buffer the weather or the temperature extremes. Microhabitats are crucial for survival of vulnerable species. Let me give you a lovely example of Kaziranga and the Indian rhino. I was there last December. Rhinos prefer tall, reedy grasses and they love to wallow in the mud. The floodplains and grasslands of Brahmaputra provide the perfect environment for these animals to thrive. There is plenty of food and a lot of mud. Now, how do we apply the underlying logic while growing plants at home? No, I'm not asking you to get rhinos. Species become vulnerable because their preferred habitat is lost. One of the best ways of creating the right habitat is to give them their Rajma Chawal, their comfort zone. And you could do that by planting native species. My Rangoon creeper is a native plant and it provides excellent feeding and breeding facilities to hawk moths. These two actually have a symbiotic relationship. The hawk moth has a specially designed proboscis that can access nectar of these tubular plants of Rangoon creeper. Other moths with smaller proboscis cannot access this nectar, so there is a high likelihood of hawk moths to return to the same vine again and again. And due to this, the chances of the vine getting pollinated also increases. A win-win for both of them. When we create microhabitats, we invite biodiversity and that brings abundance and good health. So that's it for today. In the next video, I will talk about steps to creating microhabitats at home. Do please subscribe and share. I will see you soon. Bye.